As I keep saying, I don't live in an ivory tower, or in any kind of tower. I live in reality. In that reality, events take place that scream to be topics in this book. A few days ago, as I am writing this in the early days of March 2011, I had a call from a woman in late middle age who wanted my help getting her stories published. They were good stories about her struggles adjusting to life in the United States after many years as a call girl in Buenos Aires under the thumb of a truly violent and oppressive pimp, or call girl maestro, or whatever he should be called. I had met this woman at LAX, our giant airport here in LA. She had appeared to be a pleasant, sensitive, intuitive woman. I chalked this up to her training. I had met her for lunch one day in Beverly Hills. She was precisely on time and had behaved respectfully and even charmingly. So, against my better judgment, I agreed to have her come out to my home in Rancho Mirage and bring 20 pages of her autobiography. That should have been a dead giveaway. I put aside extremely pressing work and met her, or thought I was going to meet her, at 2:30 in the afternoon. The time came, and there was no sign of her. When 2:45 came, there was still no sign. Then, at 3 p.m., just as I was about to put on my headphones and go to sleep for the hour, there was the sound of a speeding car slamming on its brakes right in front of my house. Then a car door opening and closing, and then a knocking on my door. There stood Evita, as I will call her, looking at me with a crazed grin. As she strode into my house, she exhaled. She reeked of gin. Reeked. I told her I was a bit annoyed, and she asked why. "Because you're very late and you arrived smelling of booze," I said. "I'm only 10 minutes late and I stopped to have lunch and a glass of wine with an old friend," she said. "If you don't want me here, I'll leave." I didn't say anything, and she didn't leave, alas. In the next hour, she told me she had, in fact, not had lunch, but had drunk a couple of martinis, which, she said, was nothing for her, and she had no trouble at all handling it. She gave me her book excerpt to read. It was not badly written, but had so many graphic oddities that I felt embarrassed reading it in front of her. While I read it at my dining table, Evita asked me if she might rummage in the refrigerator for something to eat. I told her to do so. I heard a great deal of noise, and after a few minutes I went into the kitchen. Evita had virtually emptied my refrigerator and put the contents in 2 large trash bags. "What on earth are you doing?" I asked her. "I am cleaning out the food that has passed its use-by date," she said proudly. "I am protecting your health. Look at all this yogurt. It's at least a couple of months past its use-by date. Do you know what could happen to you if you ate that?" I did not mention the inconsistency of a woman who has been a call girl for most of her adult life, presumably engaging in all sorts of risky behavior with all sorts of risky people, with her fastidious approach to food's use-by or sell-by dates. I just sort of stopped talking to her except to say I would give her book a careful read after she left. She asked if I had any gin. Alas, for her and me, Evita was invited to leave very soon after that. I didn't go to the trouble of putting the food back in the refrigerator because I did not want to retrieve it from the trash barrel. But I did, mentally and out loud, say a prayer of thanks to God for sending Evita my way. She helped me in many ways. First, she reminded me to write a chapter of this book about how much I hate it when people are late. I am a busy guy. I am a very busy guy and often a very tired, old guy. If I make an appointment to spend time with someone and am not getting paid for it, I expect the minimum courtesy of that person's being prompt. If I am being well paid for my time, I could not care less if the payee is late. taking up my time and making me cool my heels while waiting for a man or woman to show up so I can do him or her a favor, is simply insanity. It is insane of me to put up with it, and it's insane of them to do it. It is crossing a boundary I do not want crossed. The boundary of stealing my time. The boundary of respect. It's crossing too darned many boundaries.